The results from race 1. The new father, wonderful effort, Wesley Berg leaving nothing to doubt. Kai Hurst, Zane Holmes and Shannon Eckstein in 4th.
All the big boys. Hugh Doherty's there. He's been so strong during the series. Matty Poole's there. Ali Day's had a good race. He's got 2 ribs that have got a few problems at the moment. Pierce Leonard's up there as well, but the all-important red zone, Nicole.
The red zone, so we eliminate Newbigin, Murphy, Hamilton, James out of the competition, and Tibbetts and Simpson will also be eliminated. So race number 2, Mark Howard.
We are ready to go. Perfectly done, Nicole. You can see that little shore break starting to punch in as the tide drops. Amazing, Guy Leach, how many people are still here on hand today. But this is the 2nd race of the Eliminator. Here is Hugh Doherty, Matty Poole. They're all lined up. Young Ali Day here's had a wonderful season. Pierce Leonard as well. And Corey Jones got the locks flowing. We are set for a start here at Noosa Heads in the 2nd race.
Well, Westberg, the first race winner, has picked board as they get set. And Andrew Book, the race referee, looks like he's about to let them go.
See Trevor Hendy on the ski out the back there as the boys head off into some reasonably dark conditions, trying to get a good start. They don't want to be down in that red zone. And Trevor Hendy, can you give us a weather update?
A weather update. We've had so many different wind directions today. The wind is now blowing from you straight to me, so it's offshore, and these guys will be getting a tailwind out to the first can. That means, of course, that on the way back in, they'll be punching back into it. Makes it a little bit harder to get onto the runs, particularly on the board when the wind's blowing up the face.
Well, Trev, Tom Atkinson's been so strong on the board in the previous races, and he is leading out. I can see Zane Holmes on the other side. He's looking ominous, and Ali Day's on his wash.
Yeah, and it's great to see these, when we have these multiple races in one day, some of the younger guys get a chance to shine and show their strong leg, and we've seen that a couple of times this year. Tom Atkinson's done very well on the board, and today a different. Shannon Eckstein also tucked right in there, so obviously that's going to be good for him. Matt Poole right behind Shannon. They're obviously banking on it all coming down to the last race.
You can see Westberg there with the Mohawk. Matty Poole hanging on the back. Great shots from our chopper. He's doing a good job in tough circumstances. That is Shannon Eckstein in the middle in the purple ski. Hugh Doherty, the man that had a tough round at Portsea last week after having his first win at Bondi just 2 weeks prior to that. But the field is tightly bunched as we move on the board leg to swim after this.
Well, Howie, they're onto the wave area now. The bank's coming up and they'll start looking over their shoulders. They'll start punching hard. And this here will separate the first pack and have a definitive second pack on there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 competitors. And we see Pierce Leonard, who is a great board paddler in there. Wes Berg is there as well. He's looking strong. Kane Eckstein in the black singlets. Big Zane Holmes is there. So look, we've got some big competitors that are sitting pretty. And Hugh Doherty, so that's the 5.
Wonderful performance by that man on the right of screen, Pierce Leonard. He was off the back of that wave and really stroked himself onto it, Nicole.
Yeah, worked very hard to get onto that wave, and then wasn't it almost a breath of relief from all of the boys as they went up on their knees and had a look across to see, a check to left and right. Ali Day, Matt Poole coming through in the second group, but these boys had a chance just to take a breath to reassess where they were.
Guy Leach, Matty Poole at Bondi, when he won the Eliminator, he won race 2, 3, 4 and 5. He led from the front. He's not doing that today. Is that a tactical thing, or is he not in that type of rare form?
He's just not in the form that he was in. He wanted to do that. His coach, Michael King, said that after Bondi he wanted to stretch the other competitors through the early rounds and have them have nothing left at the end. Wes Berg, though, seems to be taking that approach, the approach that we saw from Matt Poole, and he's going to drive hard and really stretch them. It wouldn't be great to have Wes Berg have a win today, because he's been around the Ironman sport for so long.
All right, the field is starting to spread now. The man in the black leader's jersey is Shannon Eckstein. He's in there and he's just starting to make his way into the shore area now. Hugh Doherty in the green braithers, Pierce Leonard out wide in blue, and Kai Hurst, always such a wonderful swimmer, isn't he, Nicole? He has been the dominant swimmer of this series.
Well, he did a great job because he came around in 10th from that board leg and has just moved his way straight through. And you know the other thing I'm looking at Kai, he's trimmed down. In the time that we've seen him throughout this series, he has trimmed down, and I promised him I would give a mention, and I hope you don't mind, that they've got a swim coming up in Sydney, the Great Australian Swim Series. If you want to swim with Kai Hurst, Brendan Capel and Jeff Hugel, get along to Sydney Opera House, have a look at the greatswimseries.com.au. The boys are putting this swim on.
If you want to swim with Kai Hurst too, you want to do a fair bit of training to keep up with you, I would have thought, Nicole.
You won't be swimming with Kai Hurst. He'll be on the starting line with you. That'll be about it.
They're going straight past us here in the commentary position. Shannon Eckstein will be the first man with his hand on a ski. That dominant purple ski, he's out on the other side. It looks like Hugh Doherty's beside him, but Matty Poole is battling. We know we lose another 6 competitors from this round. Matty Poole is dropped down into 8. You need to be in the top 8 to make the final, Nicole.
Now, I just noticed Matty Poole on his run giving the arms a big shake out. What does that tell you, Guy?
Well,
He's lactated.
It means he's tight. There's waves coming as they look to jump over these waves and pop their ski over the front, and there goes the competitors. So they're looking pretty because they've gone over. What he's trying to do is he's trying to loosen his arms up because they're tight for the ski leg. He's trying to get himself ready to go.
I should clarify that. He's got lactic acid coursing through his vein.
He has, but what's happened is after the run, all the blood goes into the legs,
exactly.
and he's trying to get the blood back into the upper body off the back of that 100-metre run. Now, Howie, you mentioned bathers before. I think they're tier costumes. That you're showing your Melbourne origins bathers, there with bathers. We don't call them bathers up here in Queensland.
I think we call them togs, just so that you know, up in Queensland.
Exactly.
All right, at least you're not commentating in yours today, Leachy. In 8th position, though, Matty Poole. He needs to move or stay in that position. He can't afford to drop down to 9th, or he will drop out in this eliminator format. You can see up at the front, Shannon Eckstein has a small leadie on your left of screen from Hugh Doherty. You can see Trevor Hendy's shot just on the right there, right amongst the action. And Shannon looks very powerful, Trevor.
Yeah, Shannon's looking really good. I've actually thrown my left leg back over the ski to reaffirm my manhood. And apparently one of the guys is lactating, so there's all sorts of stuff going on here at the moment. But no, Shannon's looking very strong on his... I'm actually trying to pick up who that is. Once again, Piers Leonard's still sitting right there and looking good too. Well,
Hugh Doherty's sitting nicely on his coloured ski that we know so well from Coolum, where he dominated that race and made it his own to break through for his watershed victory. But Shannon Eckstein yet again is sitting in a pretty spot. Zane Holmes, the 2 heavyweights in the sport, are sitting nicely. Kai Hurst make it 3, the 3 heavyweights in the sport, and Hugh Doherty are all in that position. So at the moment, some big names at the front.
Trev, there's a big gap to that second group, and the boys at the front look like they're working well as a group and going fairly comfortably.
Yeah, they are. They're looking pretty strong, and they know they're in a good position now in this race. And I think Hugh Doherty in amongst the heavyweights now, the way he's performed this season, it's been absolutely amazing with Matt Poole, the real star. But yeah, and actually I called Piers Leonard. I was totally wrong. He's dropped back to 7th spot.
We saw there the second pack there as the leading pack. It looked like Matty Poole had moved into 7th, and Kane Eckstein was in 8th or 9th position, so he is floating around at the cusp as well. But Hugh Doherty, a bit like Elizabeth Plume, as we saw in the women's, she won 4 races and had a 17th. Hugh Doherty has had a 4th at Currumbin, a 2nd at Bondi, a 1st at Coolum, a 19th with a broken ski at Portsea. Yeah,
it was that curse of Portsea that fell upon the black jersey leaders, and that was Hugh Doherty and unfortunately Elizabeth Plumers. And you know what? Just like Plumers, he is good in surf. He can bounce back and do what he has to do, and he copped the cracked ski. It nearly sunk. He had to go get another one, and it made it very, very hard for him on the day at Portsea.
Well, 8 will go through now into this 3rd race, and Piers Leonard is right on the cusp of not qualifying. So he's in that second group, at the back part of that second group.
You can see that back group there, and one of those competitors won't make it through at that stage. So one of those boys will be missing out at this stage as we are approaching the wave zone. Trev, can you see anything coming through? It looks reasonably flat out there at the moment.
There's not a lot. Piers Leonard's chasing one of those little runs. They're on the fastest craft, so the skis do give them a chance to actually pick something up. And they've moved their way closer over to the point where it might stand up a little bit more. But Piers is the one that's in the worst spot here. He's chasing down this wave. He may get back up, and I can't quite see it from here now, but Matt Poole's looking comfortable.
Well, Trev, the crowd on the balcony of the surf club, they are going bananas. They are packed into maximum situation there at the moment for Mitchy Miller, the local boy. They're hoping he can get up amongst it. But out at the front, there is Mitchy Miller. You can see him on the left-hand side there. He's got a massive local support. But Hugh Doherty and Shannon Eckstein, they know their job is done, Guy Leach.
Well, that's right. They're cantering through, and they think that there's one race to go. And because of that, they're just looking over their shoulders, making sure that they're in a good position. But it's all back in the pack that we need to worry about right now.
All right, you can see them leading in the field, but the real race is on there. Look at young Mitchy Miller. He's the local lad. He's only a young man. They've got a big sign up here for him. Go, Mitchy Miller, go. He is busting to try and get into that top 8 position. There is 1, there is 2, 3 and 4 coming through. This is the pack. Ali Day sneaks in. Matty Poole, Kane Eckstein, Wes Berg, and have a look at Mitchy Miller, just giving the local crowd a bit of, have a look at me.
Well, Howie, what that means is, and he knows he's into the series next year, so the young fella from Noosa, who showed so much potential, who I knew not much about. He's into next year's series. You know what? How happy is he?